Hi and welcome back to Beeper Beef, the second channel for finders, beepers, history seekers. And I've already started to do my editing. I notice how much I move my hands. Since I've started watching the videos in the office, I noticed my hands are like this all the time. I'm so expressive with my hands. So now I've mentioned it, 100% you're going to notice it. But this week, I'm talking to you about injuries that we've sustained over the last 6 years. Because I don't know if you know, yesterday, so that's, what day is it today? Friday. So Thursday the 27th of April was our 6 years on YouTube on the main channel. I can't believe 6 years has come and gone that fast. It is mad. And in that time, we've put ourselves in so much danger and got injured on many, many occasions. And not just injuries, but very, very close misses. Things that have almost happened that could have been catastrophic. Now, the reason I've brought this up, and I can see my hand moving, the reason I've brought this up today is because 2 days ago we went exploring and Andy had a fall, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't horrendous. It wasn't terrible, but it could have been a lot worse if it had hit him a bit further down. But I'll go into Andy's in a minute. Now, looking back over the last 6 years, we've injured ourselves in the UK, we've injured ourselves abroad, we've had things happen that, like I said, have been very, very close to being something terrible happen. So we'll go back first to, well, let's start at Andy's accident. What happened the other day? We were out exploring, we'd been to 4 locations already, didn't get in any of them, or the ones we went to were just that bad we couldn't make a video for you. Because that's the thing, a lot of you guys don't realise, we go hunting and we go looking round, and a lot of the places we go to, you never see, because they're that bad. They're that bad. So, we'd gone out into the countryside, I can't even think where we were. I think Lincolnshire or West Yorkshire or somewhere like that. So anyway, we'd been to the first 4, terrible, not worth using at all. So we moved on to the final one that we knew we could get in. We knew it did have some stuff inside. So we went and we had a look round there. So when we got there, it was really brambly. And if anyone's been watching this channel, you'll know I've just had some tattoos done on my leg and I got shorts on. So I didn't want to pull all the scabs off on all the brambles and one thing and another. So I sent Andy to go and have a look first. Now, we had been told the door was open and we could just walk in. And we got there and it was locked. So Andy went round the back of the building and found a window that was open. It was about maybe 8 foot up. So it was the top section of a window. So if you think about like a window with a bit that opens at the top, that was where he had to climb in. Now, normally, Andy is amazing at climbing through things. It's me that causes issues. With my dodgy back, he has to lift me up and I have to use his head as a rest and all sorts. But on this occasion, he was by himself. I could sort of see him through the bushes. I could see his torchlight. I knew he was there, but I wasn't with him. So anyway, he climbed through this window, and as he pushed himself up, his arms collapsed from underneath him, and he went straight through the window, dropped 8 foot onto his head, which, if it was my head, it wouldn't be so much of a problem. It probably would have damaged the floor more than my own head. But Andy's got a lovely little soft head, like a soft boiled egg. And he hit the corner of, like, his eye on the corner of something as he fell. So that started gushing with blood. Obviously, he'd then got a bruised face as well. So then he had to then climb back out of the window to come and find me and tell me that he was struggling to see out of one eye. It'd gone a bit weird, a bit blurry. He'd got this weird headache, and I was worried for him because head injuries are really dodgy. You've got to be really careful with them. So anyway, we decided that was that. We weren't going to go back in the building. I was trying to convince him to go to A&E, but he was having none of it at all. He went back to his missus. I went home, back to Rachel, and that was that. And he's fine now, and everything's fine. But then, obviously, I put the photograph on, and people were like, "Oh, I hope you survive. I hope you're going to pull through." He's not dead. Like, he's not dying or anything, but I understand and we appreciate the concern that we get as well. So, but people really, really do worry, like panic and worry. We know the risks of doing what we do. We know that every time we go out, something terrible could happen, and it almost has a few times. But we do take precautions, and we do generally like think about things as we're doing them. Sometimes there is lapses of concentration, and that's generally when the issues happen. And that brings me on to next, a very near mess. To be fair, I am a mess, but it was a very near miss in Liverpool. Liverpool is one of our favourites. And we went to the fruit exchange. We went with a guy called Matt. It was when we'd not been exploring that long, to be fair. Probably maybe a year into exploring. And Matt knew a way into this place. Now, it's not accessible anymore, so I can sort of tell you how we did it. You had to go in through some student accommodation next door, up a lift, up to the top level, and out of a fire exit. Now, when you got out of the fire exit, the only way to get into the building, because the building was maybe 5 stories high, 50 foot drop from the top of the building, maybe-ish. I'm not very good at heights and stuff. But anyway, the only way across was to get a plank, a thick plank, and put it from the top of the roof we were on across to the other building and through a window. There was an open window at the other side. Now, bearing in mind, the drop down the side of that building was, like I said, maybe 30, 40, 50 foot. It was a big, big drop. If you fell down there, you were dead. 100%. Now, I can't remember if in the original video we mentioned it or showed it. I don't think we did, because we were probably a bit concerned people might find a way in. But when Matt went across, he crawled across. Then Andy went across and he crawled across, because obviously Andy's pretty scared of heights. And Billy Big Balls here, who thinks he's like the top dog and he can do what he wants, thought, I'll walk across it. So I'm walking across it, and it went like that. The whole board moved to one side, and no word of a lie, if I'd not been on my left foot, stepping forward onto my left foot, I would have died that day. 100%, without doubt. Because as I walked across it, it went off to the right, and just as I planted my left foot, if I'd been on my right, I would have tipped. I would have gone straight off the edge and down. But luckily, I'd just got onto my left foot, and I counterbalanced it with my weight and carried on walking. I absolutely shit my pants. I'm not going to... For about 5 minutes after that, I was calming down because of how scared I was. Both of them, I saw the faces looking out the window at me, and they both went like they knew I was about to fall. Oh, God. And that could have been it. It literally could have been it. There would have been no more channel. You probably would have never have watched any of our videos, because it was before we were we probably only got about 5,000 subscribers. So there wouldn't have been many people that had even heard of us at that point, and that would have been it. So that was one of the biggest near misses ever. The next near miss actually resulted in Andy being really, really injured. However, 1, it never made it to a video. 2, it's like half a mile from where I'm sat now. One of our first ever explores, probably maybe the second time we'd ever been out exploring. I don't know how it didn't put us off. But Andy was climbing over a fence. Now, I'll put a picture in, but I don't know if you've ever seen them before, the 3-pronged fences. You get 3 prongs on the top that stick up at slightly different angles. And if you land on one of those, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. They're meant to damage. Like, they're there to put you off. They're the worst fences in the game. We climb over a lot of fences, a lot of barbed wire, and these probably, after razor wire, are the worst. They're horrendous. So anyway, we were climbing up. It was very wet, and we'd not got into the building at all. So we'd been like, oh, not going to... I don't know if there was a video. I don't know if I actually put it out or not. I'll have a search and see if I can find any footage from that day, but I don't think... Oh, in fact, I think we did some drone footage from it. Because like I said, it was right at the beginning before it was like 2018. So there's a possibility I've got some footage from that day. I'll have a look in a little bit and I'll add it in. If it's there now, you know that actually I have got some. To see anything, don't forget, I can't see out when you don't shine the torch. Yes. Right guys, so we finally made it out. We've had such a bother to get in. Well, we didn't get in, but you know what I mean, we got into the grounds and now we've just got back out again. I've ripped my jacket, my jeans, my hand, my glove that I've got on to protect my finger. Literally everything is barbed wire everywhere. So Andy's had a bit of a slip. I think he's hurt his knee, so we're gonna have to have a look at that. We're having a bit of a bad couple of weeks, to be fair. I've found him anyway, hobbling. Let's have a quick look at him, shall we? Here he is, look. It's like Roy.
Really twisted my knee.
What you like?
Can't bend it.
Can't you? That's not good. So we're having a bit of a bad week when it comes to injuries. So I've done that earlier on, not too bad.
I've done that. Nearly impaled myself.
Anyway, Andy was going to climb up. I wanted to go around a different way altogether, and I said, Andy, I don't think we should go this way. And it's normally the other way around. Andy's always the one that's saying, Matt, no, let's not do this. Let's go this way. And I'm always the one that's like, no, definitely need to do it. We'll go this way. It's absolutely fine. Somebody walking down those bleeding stairs again. So noisy. Anyway, so as Andy pulled himself up, they're going to go back up again in a minute. She's gone to meet someone. Get ready. Don't know if you all hear it. Some noisy buggers in this building. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Stupid people. But yeah, so anyway, Andy were like, no, it's fine, don't worry. And I'm like, yeah, but it's wet, don't slip. So anyway, he pushed himself up, and as he was about to climb over, he slipped and he fell. And imagine this as the 3-pronged spikes were going like this, straight towards his neck. And if it had landed on his neck, it would have impaled him on his neck on the top of the fence. But a bit like a high jumper, he somehow turned himself like that and it went straight into his arm. So it impaled his arm, and he's still got a scar there today. And as he landed, he did something to his hip as well and his shoulder, and it damaged him for ages. We didn't do a video for weeks afterwards. But at that point, it didn't really matter because we were only just starting out. But once again, that was another one of those moments that if it had gone the wrong way, there would be no more channel. There would be no more Andy. It was like life or death. It was horrendously bad. Anyway, next up. Now, I do need to warn you, if you are squeamish, I don't know whether I can even include it. I'm going to have to. If we get demonetised, we get demonetised. But I need to show you. So the next one up was... What are they doing on those stairs? I swear they just do it. They wait until I do it. It's quiet all day. And then I start doing a video and they do like some sort of stair climbing marathon. Up and down, up and down. They've got a toilet and a kitchen and everything upstairs. They don't need to keep coming down. What's going on? Anyway, yeah, the next one was the Manchester Underground place. And this was horrific. This was horrible. Even now, thinking back now, I've still got a big scar on my finger. And it was horrible. Now, it sounds not that bad because it was just a finger injury. But trust me, it was a horrible... It's making me like that. It's a horrible pain. So we'd gone to go to Underground Manchester, which... At that point, there'd only been Dan from Fighters that had been down there. Nobody else had been down. And we wanted to be the second lot of people down there and sort of kick off the back of his success with it because he'd got like 1 million views or something. And we wanted to get down there and have a look. So we went and we rushed to get there. We've got big high-vis jackets on, meant like we were supposed to be there. We'd got a crowbar. Yeah, we got a crowbar to get in, not the cover key things you can get to lift them up, which we probably should have had. So we used this crowbar and we got it open, and because it was so thick, the manhole to get down to these tunnels, like the manhole cover, it was an old Victorian one. You couldn't quite get it underneath. So I was laid on the floor, lifting it up, and Andy said to me, "Don't let it drop on your finger."
We're doing two, couldn't we?
Yeah. I don't want to trap my fingers.
No, trap finger in that.
That's not happening. Oh, if you do that, I can get my fingers under, I think.
Don't drop.
Right. And I went, "I won't." And as soon as I said that, bang, it landed. Oh, Jesus, what you've just missed. And I feel like I'm going to be sick. So we were told when we came here to be careful with his fingers around the edge of the manhole, and I've just literally got mine trapped, and there's blood on the floor. There's a nice trail of blood. And look at that. Right, as you can see, guys, it's a bit of a fucking state, that. This is the thing with the urban exploring, you've got to be really careful. Accidents do happen. And if my finger had been any further in the hole, it would have taken my finger off altogether. But luckily, it just popped my finger. And it used to be that if you searched on my phone for sausage, it brought up a picture of my finger. That's how bad it looked. It looked horrendous. Then it started to go all horrible and gammy and stuff. I'll try and find the photos. I do apologise if it... I'm going to warn you now. I'm going to put the photograph in now. And the video can start again. You can come back and watch. It's not nice. It's not a nice thing to look at. People out there with morbid curiosities are going to be like, "Oh, I wish I'd not seen that. That's horrible." But yeah, it literally popped my finger. It's never been quite the same shape since either. It's very flat. Like, you normally have like a bit of padding under your finger. This one's very flat. Like it squashed it properly. So that was the next up. I feel like there's a theme. It is the majority of the things that go wrong are me. But that brings me next to something else that happened to me, which is this. Now, we went to Italy and we had a couple of tragedies in Italy all on the same day. We'd had a really, really good trip while we'd been there. We'd been onto the island near Venice, to the plague victim island. Amazing place, so good. We'd been to the villa up in the mountains, also absolutely stunning. And then on the last day, or either the last day or the next to the last day, something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened and it all seemed to go a little bit wrong. So first of all, we came out of our apartment to the car, and at that point I was new to having two phones, because I don't know if you know, but I film on iPhone. I do all my filming, all my editing, everything on iPhone. I swear, what are they doing on these stairs? There's like a herd of elephants going up and down. Anyway, yeah, so I do all my filming, do all my editing, do everything on an iPhone. I find it really reliable. It's really, really easy just to put in your pocket. You've got everything in one place. You don't have to put it on a laptop to then edit it and do all that. I love doing it that way. A lot of people will argue, "Oh, well, you're not really very professional doing it on an iPhone." Don't care. Works for me. Brilliant. So anyway, we just got a new phone for the channel. So I'd got my own personal phone and I've got a phone for the channel. So anyway, I'm looking at my phone. I put the phone on top of the car, got in the car, forgot the phone was on top of the car, and we drove 15 miles before it fell off. So 15 miles and got onto the motorway, and then all of a sudden I thought, where's the phone? Where's it gone? So I checked in my pockets, I checked everywhere, and then I did find my iPhone, and it was about 10 miles back down the road in the middle of a motorway. So I had to bomb across this motorway to go and get the phone, which was smashed. So it had only smashed the screen. It wasn't too bad. We got it repaired when we got back. In fact, it's the phone that I'm filming on right now. Exactly the same one. Is it? No, it's not. That's a lie. It's the one before. Yeah, so once I'd got it back, I realised that I'd still got all the footage on there, which that was the main thing. It could back stuff up. I wasn't going to lose everything, and that was my main worry, that I was going to lose all the footage from the whole trip. I was scared to death, but we got the phone back, we got it sorted. And the last couple of videos I had to film on my phone, and the sound was a bit dodgy on my phone, so gutted. That was the first thing that happened. Second thing that happened was the place we were on the way to was where there was the two aeroplanes that made a big sort of restaurant and hotel. There was two aeroplanes and then there was a helicopter. So we'd look around the planes, and while we were looking around the planes, the police turned up. Andy got arrested, but I hid and they didn't find me. But the problem was, I was the one that had got the car and the car keys. So when Andy was asked, oh, can we see your documents? He's like, oh, they're in the car and they're locked in. So then instantly they knew I was in here. So Andy rang me up and said, right, you need to get out of there as quick as possible because they're going to come in and they're going to come and find you and arrest you. And because you've hidden, it will be classed as aggravated. So I was like panicking, thinking, I haven't filmed this helicopter. I really want to film the helicopter. Let's get up and do it. So I got up there and it was on a flat roof, probably 10 foot off the floor. I climbed up, went along, filmed, took some photographs, bombed back down again because I could see the police were coming in at the other end, bombed along as fast as I possibly could to the other end of the roof, and I went to grab the thing to get down and I missed, and my arm, I don't know if you know the top of roofs when they're sort of waterproofed and they're all bobbly. I don't know the name of the stuff. I can't remember. It's like really rough, and my arm scraped down that, and I've got like a barcode on my arm, and it really hurt. It like cut it. But the main thing was I then fell 10 foot, and there was a 2-foot fence at the bottom, metal fence, and my legs bounced off that, and I fell onto the floor and banged my head. I think it was the fence that stopped me breaking a leg, to be fair, because it was only 8 foot, not 10 foot to drop. So anyway, I limped round then, got out before they got me in there, limped out and went to Andy, and luckily managed to get away with getting arrested. Andy got de-arrested, showed all the documents, and we were fine. But for the rest of the trip, I was in so much pain, because basically what it had done, all the muscle on my leg, it had pushed it up, so it was literally skin and then bone and nothing underneath. It was horrible. It makes me feel ill thinking about it. The pain was unbelievable. I got big cuts on my bum, I got this big thing on my arm, and I got that. And my leg was the most painful, and it ruined the last day for me. Totally ruined it, because I was hobbling about, I felt sick, and it wasn't good at all. Next up, back to me again. 2 lots of broken ribs. So they're both in explodes. One of them was outside, one of them was inside. So we'll go to the second one first. That was when we were looking round in a vicar's house. So we're going round, and a lot of people have got a theory that I got pushed by God down the stairs. I'll leave that one to you, but a lot of people did. So anyway, we were just about to leave, we'd almost done, and then all of a sudden, I just randomly, without tripping over anything, I just fell over my own feet, went down the stairs, and broke a rib on the way down. One there. And then there's one up at the end as well there. Oh, Jesus Christ, Andy.
What are you doing? How the hell have you done that?
Oh, no, there's something at the top. Oh, God. There's something at the top of the stairs. Oh. My back. My back.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
You didn't bang your head though, did you?
I have banged my head. I'm alright, I think.
Have you hurt anything?
I don't know.
Broke anything?
I don't know.
Does it hurt anywhere?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not when you can fall downstairs.
This is always the plan, isn't it? If anything happens, you
Film it for prosperity.
Oh, great. I bet my hair looks... I need to put my hat on. There we go.
We have to get you up now, aren't
I don't know if I can.
Get your pathetic little face.
Myself.
Just managed to get you up, haven't
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
It took a while of pulling and rolling.
I don't know what... My collarbone really hurts.
Is it?
I don't think I broke it, but it hurts. My ribs all down this side. Because I twisted. As I fell, I've twisted. And I don't know whether I feel like I might have broke a rib or cracked a rib or done something to a rib. So...
You and your ribs.
I'm terrible with them. So I don't know. Might have to go to hospital, you know. I had to go to A&E. No real photos of it, nothing, but it was bad. The first time I broke my ribs was 10 times worse. It was horrendous. And there's a little story that goes on the back end of that as well. We went to... It was a factory of some sort. We never really got to have a proper look round it because of what happened, but we got into the main grounds and we knew there was security that did a patrol every hour, so we had to time it just right. Now there was these big pipes that ran through the place, and I was stood on one and there was another one below, so I was about to step down and I slipped and I landed with my full weight on my ribs, and it broke, I don't know if it was 3, 4 ribs, and Andy thought I was going to die. I was on the floor making the worst noises because I dropped maybe 3 or 4 foot and my whole weight landed on my ribs, and it wasn't even the floor. So like my legs didn't then hit the floor. I was dangling both sides of it. So I broke my ribs. I then had to climb through a window because the security were coming. So I dragged myself through this window and had to hide inside there. So we've already had a couple of mishaps. First of all, I think I've broken a rib. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm struggling with my breathing and it hurts a lot. So I've just slipped. And there is at least 3 security guards that we know of just round the corner once again. But you'll not believe where we're in at the moment. Now, we haven't got in the main bit yet. We have seen a way in just before I slipped. So I'll show you what's behind us first. You got anything to add? No. Other than being scared. What's that noise? Scared. It was a scared. Turn the lights off then. Oh, the pain was unbelievable. Like terrible, terrible pain. I don't think you understand how bad it was. If anyone's broken a rib, they know how painful it is. But I'll tell you something, it's 10 times more painful the day after and the day after and the day after. It's awful. And the little story that goes off the back of this is, once we'd escaped the police and the security that day, I went then home to go back, and it was before me and Rachel were together, so my house was totally empty. It was just me, and I got in the bath because I was filthy and I was in pain. I couldn't get out for 8 hours. I literally could not pull myself out of the bath. I got myself in and then foolishly thought, I know what, I'll let the water out. And then the water, because there was no support there, I couldn't push myself up. So I was stuck and I couldn't get out. I just couldn't get out. I was stuck absolutely butt naked in the bath. Not that you would normally wear clothes in the bath, but you know what I mean. And I sort of turned, it was a bit of another high jump moment. So if you imagine the bar and you get people that sort of like roll over it, I had to roll over the edge of the bath and then fell onto the floor like a big slippy wet sea lion or something. It was disgusting. Nobody needed to see that. It was awful. But yeah, my ribs on that were black and blue. Really, really bad. Awful. So yeah, that was the next one. Next injury. Next up is a bit of a different one. It's not really it is a physical injury, but it's not like something that you can see. So it's not like a cut or whatever. So we went to an asylum up in Scotland. Amazing place. Huge place. And while we were in there, we heard what we thought was running water in the cellar. So we thought, oh, we'll go down to the cellar to have a look. It was a really loud noise. Anyway, we got in there and it was bone dry. And we could hear this running water, or what we thought was running water, until we realised it was gas. What the hell is that? Whatever it is, it's down there. Which way is it coming from? Down there? Oh, this is a bit freaky down here. I'm going this way. Don't know. It smells like chlorine, yeah. Oh, I hope it's not like a chlorine gas leak. I don't like this, Andy.
Can't see no water.
It sounds like water, but listen down there. We're next to big fucking tanks, Andy. Why are you making me go further in? It says warning asbestos, which don't help. And then something going off down there. I can smell gas, Andy.
Okay.
Let's get out of here. Oh, God. I can hear it under this step louder than anywhere else. This is freaky. This is one hell of a corridor. Look at how it's like melting off the walls. I feel like I've inhaled chlorine gas or something.
I think that's where we came in.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, let's head back up past the gas. We've got no choice. What is it?
That now. Don't go boom while we're here.
Oh, yeah. It's not so much the booming, it's the breathing I'm bothered about. I know people are definitely going to tell us off for not wearing masks today.
Especially this place.
You don't expect that though, do you?
We don't know. Just gets louder and louder, but I thought it was, first I thought it was water.
It sounded like a river.
I thought a pipe had burst or something.
But I could smell it. Could you smell it under
Yeah.
there? There'd been some sort of gas leak down there, and you could almost smell like chlorine, like a chlorine smell. So like when you're in the swimming baths, that smell that you get in there, it's a weird chlorine smell. And then I started to cough and to wheeze. And over the next 3 or 4 months, my chest was tight, my throat hurt, and whatever it was, I still don't know to this day. We rang the gas board and let them know about it and reported it. But to this day, I don't know what it was I breathed in, but it definitely 100% did some damage to my lungs. Terrible, absolutely terrible. An amazing explore, really, really enjoyed it, but it made me like worry about my lungs after that. Oh God, I'm going to get people saying, you should wear a mask, you should wear a mask and a helmet, you should wear body armour, you should wear this and that. Great, it's fine, innit? Worst thing probably is pigeon poo. That's probably the worst thing that we get to breathe in every day, but it is what it is. And finally, I bet you there's loads more, absolutely loads more that I just can't think of off the top of my head. But this one, once again, I can only think of one for Andy, I don't know, or 2 for Andy. This one was another one for me, and it was right back at the beginning. Now, I think we must have become more safe over the years, like do things a little bit more safe, because a lot of the things that happened to us were years ago. I don't know if that means something terrible is going to happen to us soon. It's like about to happen, but it's from an explore that we did with Roy. But this place, we'd been up and round and we'd slept in there and we'd had a look round, and it was a bit of a freaky sort of hospital place. We've been having a look underneath in these little tunnel bits. Royd enjoyed it as well. And then all of a sudden, I fell down the stairs again. I don't know what it is. I've fallen down my house stairs maybe 5, 10, 20 times in the past. Knocked myself out. I've got scars on my face from like where I've had a glass in my hand. Not even drunk. I mean like in the morning with a glass of water in my hand. So I've had some terrible time with stairs. I don't know what it is. I've fallen down Rachel's stairs. I've fallen down some steps outside Rachel's mum's house, at my house, at my mum and dad's house. Obviously in multiple buildings as well. I just don't seem to be able to cope with stairs. I don't know what it is. Maybe I've got size 10.5 feet. They're not massive. I thought it could be something to do with foot size, but they're not huge. So I don't really know. But anyway, on this occasion, I ended up with a big black eye, loads of cuts on my face, and it was horrendous. I'll show you a bit of a clip of it now. So, Andy, I'm just going down this way to them.
Oh God. Oh my God, you alright, Matt?
No.
Oh, Matt's having a bit of a tumble. He's fell down the stairs. Yeah.
That isn't on very well at the moment.
Has a brother neck? Pity.
On me back.
Just give me a minute.
Fucking hold it, are you?
Just seem to be fucking laughing.
You alright, Paul?
Yeah. That fucking hurt.
What surprise, man. How'd you fall? Why?
There's a metal thing to top
Fell with a metal thing there. Look at that, Jesus Christ. Bit of a graze, bit of a scratch.
Wow. I think I'm alright. My arm's hurting a bit.
Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. There has been some scrapes, some bangs and some knocks, and I'm hoping there's not going to be too many in the future. If you can think of any more that have been in our videos and I've totally forgot, comment them down below. Tell me your favourite worst moment. That's a bit weird. Which moment did you prefer us getting injured in? This one, or this one? But yeah, we do look after ourselves generally, but sometimes things happen and it's just not much we can do about it, I'm afraid. It's the job that we do. Anyway, we'll see you soon. Love you. Goodbye.